Casino Watch was founded in 1993 after the disastrous flood in Missouri. Las Vegas casinos arrived as the savior, promising to build a 500-year levee if Missouri just gave them 7 miles of riverfront for the new Las Vegas of the Midwest. Casino Watch has developed the largest gambling research library in the world, containing over 500,000 books, studies, articles, and recordings. We have aided hundreds of communities and states in the U.S. and across the world to defeat gambling expansion. Casino Watch has lobbied and testified at the state and federal levels, as well as being featured in many national news sources. This is what comes to mind when tourists from the United States and across the world think about Florida. The delightful experiences of Disney World. Graceful dolphins at SeaWorld, delighting families. Cypress Gardens, talented skiers in a pyramid, have inspired generations of swimmers. One never forgets Florida's beaches and gorgeous sunsets. That is about to be radically changed forever. Florida Senate President Mike Herodopoulos stacked his Senate committees, guaranteeing a yes vote to legalize 3 destination casinos in Florida. Gambling pushers are touting that gambling is already here, but not this kind of gambling, not destination casinos that you find in Las Vegas. These casinos come with an ambiance all their own. Prostitutes, sex clubs, nude pools, topless showgirls, nude circus, all of which service their high rollers and attract Mr. Average looking for some excitement. Remember the Las Vegas slogan? What happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas. Even the New York Times recognizes that the proposed destination resorts, as they are called, would be a radical departure from most of the existing gambling sites in Florida. Herodopoulos and other legislators and the casinos want you to believe that destination casinos will fix Florida's projected $2 billion shortfall and solve our double-digit unemployment problems. But if you knew the truth about destination casinos, you would run them and their legislative promoters and lobbyists out of the state of Florida. One proposed Miami destination casino is owned by a Malaysian company named Genting, which plans to build the largest casino in the world in Miami. This thing is so big that it could house 6 modern marquee casinos on the Las Vegas Strip, with room to spare. Singapore officials fined Genting $425,000 this year for violating gambling laws. And that's not all. Genting executives told Senate investigators at the time that the millions of dollars funneled to various Islamic extremist organizations known to finance jihad were made under duress and viewed as a cost of doing business for a Chinese businessman in heavily Islam-run Malaysia. Genting also came under fire in 2007 by Singapore's gaming officials, who forced the company to pull out of a partnership to build a casino in Macau because its partner, Stanley Ho Hung Sun, had been named by the U.S. Justice Department as a money launderer for the Chinese Triad's organized crime syndicate. Sheldon Adelson, Las Vegas Sands, was Governor Scott's guest at the Fox Florida Republican debate. In fact, Governor Scott met with representatives of Las Vegas Sands and lobbyists, met with Sands Vice President several times, flew across the country to speak with Las Vegas Sands executive Sheldon Adelson shortly after he won the election. Las Vegas Sands contributed $25,000 to Scott's inauguration festivities. Las Vegas Sands has had its own regulatory challenges. The company announced in February that it was being investigated by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission and the Justice Department for violating the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, which prohibits bribes to officers of foreign governments. But legislators have the crimes covered. The new Department of Department of Gaming Commission. The proposed new Gaming Commission is not only a regulatory agency, it will be a casino promotional agency operating in secret behind closed doors. State legislators love to pass the buck to these commissions to expand gambling so politicians can claim they are anti-gambling and not lose elections. The new Gaming Commission will be accountable to no one, especially the voters. A separate board would have the power to police the casinos, conduct investigations, and monitor finances. This is a huge expansion of government. But you weren't supposed to know that. In fact, there is more they don't want you to know. The group Our Fair Share for Lee County just gathered enough petition signatures to put a mega destination casino in Fort Myers on Colonial on the 2012 ballot. Nothing in their campaign or on their website ever mentioned that this was a casino. They only talked about jobs, because if the voters knew what they were all about, no one would have agreed to vote on this. More deception. Their website for gathering signatures never mentioned the word casinos. It was only destination resorts.